Good evening. It is Sunday night. It is actually Easter night. Most likely you're not watching this on Easter, but this is when we're recording. It is a lot later than usual, so I don't know if I will have my one usual viewer, which would be digital, but if he is out there and he sees this, I am on, and I'm glad for you to join it if you want. However, we are going to do another chapter of Higurashi, When They Cry Who. And I've been doing this for several weeks. It is a long game, and it is basically just me reading a visual novel. So if you want to hear some old guy read a visual novel for about an hour and try to voice, for 13 to 16-year-old schoolgirls, then you are in the right spot. Couple things going on here. This is, I don't know. I'm Terrence. I should introduce myself. I am Terrence. I am from Tev's Next Idea. I do solo role-playing, and I post my stories with mechanics. So if that is something you're interested, you can watch that. I also have another website called halfair.com where I post some faith-based articles. But tonight we are going to be streaming Higurashi When They Cry. We have the cute counter up. We have not used that the last couple of weeks because I don't think Rena has found anything cute. But if she does, we have that up there. And another thing that I learned last week from digital was that you can put on the original sprites in this game. So I thought it would be fun this week to play with the original sprites, or at least start, because who knows, it might just be too annoying because they look, I don't know, they just don't look like the typical Japanese video game animation that I am used to. But let's go into config, let's go to character sprites, let's go original, and we will see what that looks like. So, continue, and where did we leave off? Are we there? Yes. We left out here at the end of chapter 7, which I think is really chapter 8. I don't know. But we will hit that, and we will load, and we will see where we are. As we know, last time we just found out that Tamataki-san has been found dead, clawed at his own throat, supposedly. And there were other people there that could have been beating him up. So we are going to load this data. And let me just make sure we're at our last tips. Ooh, look at those sprites. Yep, and that's where we got the search notice. Okay, exit. And we're going to continue. And we're in the classroom again, just like we are every week. Sleepy. I guess I'm sleepy. I guess it's been a late night. Okay. Oh, look at that. Whoa! That was a really big yawn, Kichi-kun. I gotta remember who these people are now with the different sprites. But it doesn't look like I can do it today. I was watching TV until late last night. I'm so tired right now. Was one of those raunchy TV shows you love so much on last night? And that is Mina, I believe her name is, or... Oh, this looks interesting. Ha ha! How extremely vile! Don't jump to conclusions. It's perfectly normal for boys. Nothing to be ashamed about. Rika was not patting my head, only made me feel worse. Could you just let me pass out at this lunch break? No, seriously. My, you think you would just sit here and allow that? I'll get really angry if you disturb me. Really angry. This was just dreadful. That's the other thing that I have to mention from last game if you weren't here. I was recruited by the police, I guess, to spy on my friends, more or less. Let them know if I hear anything, because there is suspicions that it might be the people of Hinamizawa who are doing this. And for some reason, one of my classmates could be very involved. Just so sleepy. I slumped my head onto the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. It seemed that Satoko had responded, but I pretended not to hear. Cut it out, Satoko-chan. Kichi-kun fell asleep. His sleeping face, so cute! This is Rena. You can take him home later. Let him be for now. Let's move over there. It'd be rude to Kichi if we bothered him now. I'm making up who these people are because I don't know. Rika-chan really is a good girl. Okay, that was her. Let's not wake him up, even if the teacher comes back. I take that back. The excuse that I didn't sleep much last night because I was watching TV was a lie. I was in bed at the usual time, but because of the conversation with Oishi-san that afternoon, I didn't get much sleep. Just spending the day like this, it's almost as if the incident with Tomotaki-san didn't happen at all. It made me think, was Oishi-san just trying to deceive me? But it was probably the truth. One thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. He wanted my assistance, but I really didn't know anything about it. Here's a thought. What if he has all the girls looking for the killer? That's why they're not speaking. If I knew I wasn't going to be of any help, I probably wouldn't have listened in the first place. It ended up with me again, regretting learning something I didn't need to know. If I had ever learned about it, I would, without a doubt, be goofing off with the rest of them right now. I couldn't help but resent Oishi-san for this. Huh? When was that? I heard he wasn't there the next day. It appears he vanished the night of Watanagashi. Mion whispered to keep the others from listening, but I could hear it clearly. On the other hand, Rena's voice was even harder to pick up, but I could still tell that she was quite upset. It couldn't be. Are they talking about Tomotaki-san? Taki? Not sure. That's all I know. I would have to feign ignorance about this topic because I needed to keep it a secret. Rather than waking up and being forced to lie to join the conversation, it was much easier to sit here and pretend I was asleep to listen in on their discussion. Wait, why did I have to pretend asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? The guilt stung. So, and me, there are others, right? Two? But they don't know if it's from the curse or if this was Owen Kakushi. Okin Kakushi? Owen Kakushi? To be hidden away by a demon? What a mysterious phrase. I did, however, get the feeling it meant nothing good. Well, there was another, right? Right? If it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah. But, this year, that all? Grandma and the mayor had talked about it. Seems they talked to the police about it beforehand. They said they'd take care of whatever happens this year without causing a commotion. Whoa. Then, without us knowing it, someone had them, you mean? Maybe. Next could be me, I wonder. Don't worry. You got home safely. But is not allowed, right? That was a long time ago. Let's stop talking about this. Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was still a bit unclear, but a few parts caught my attention. First of all, the term onakakushi. To be demoned away? By the context it was used in, I would guess it's similar to being spirited away. I suspected that this is what it meant because Tomotaki-san and that woman, it really bugged me that I don't know her name, vanished after Watanagashi. The next thing that stuck out was when Rena said, "There's another one, right?" Mion also said, "If it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah," responding to something. If it's Oyashiro-sama's curse, then there had to be two victims. Is that what she meant? come to think of it, I remember Mion saying at the beginning that they didn't know if it was from the curse or if it was a case of onakakushi. It seems that the curse and being demoned away are different things, and they were phenomena that were paired together. I recall Tamataki Saki-san's terrible end. That wasn't something as elegant as disappearing. That horrendous end would be best described as cursed. Then the woman with him, it means she vanished because she was demoned away? What I do know is that there's normally an even number of victims of the curse proper. And the last point that bothered me was Rena. Rena was frightened. For what reason? I didn't know. However, she knew that something had made her a potential target for Oyashiro-sama's curse. If I recall correctly, Oyashiro-sama should be the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. Isn't a guardian deity supposed to defend the citizens and drive out invaders? If I recall correctly, yesterday, Oyashiro-san said that originally the targets were enemies of the village, but recently, there was no longer any distinction between them or regular outsiders. But if that was the case, then I would think that I'd be the more likely target, having moved here more recently than Rena. From her composure, I could infer that she was grimly certain that she would be next. I should probably relay what I heard just now to Oishia-san. Informing the police of what I heard by eavesdropping on my friends while pretending to be asleep, it made me feel terrible. It raised a few questions and left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better not to seek the answer to those questions? As I continued to learn more and more, I felt like I had fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I would definitely regret ever having learned of these events. And then we get cheery music. The teacher approaches. Kichi-san, you must awaken. In the distance, I could hear the ring of a handbell signaling the start of afternoon class. I couldn't sleep at all. So, usually we come to class and then we have morning activities before lunch. But apparently we had morning activities and not once did any of this stuff about murder or demons pop up. That sounds odd. Anyway, I hastily opened my eyes and raised my head up. It was in that moment, when I leaned against the back of my seat, there was a thumbtack stuck on the back of my chair with tape. Sakuto. Circumstantial evidence was enough. Satoko! Okay, Satoko. Guilty without trial. Capital punishment. I furiously jumped up from my seat, and I tripped as if my feet were tangled up. My shoelaces had been tied together. The lesson, do not fall asleep in class. Not bad, Satoko. While I was sleeping, you were able to conceal your presence and able to pull off this fine piece of work. The teacher came in right as I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Satoko. Oh, did you not notice that our teacher had arrived, Kichi-san? Take your seat. Clomp, clomp, wished Biff. Not caring one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead. Wah! Kichi-san's being mean. Hey! Don't pick on younger kids, Maebra-kun. Apologize to her. I saw Satoko stick her tongue out at me, that little brat. Come on, Maebra-kun. Oh yeah, I'll apologize. Sorry, Satoko-san. In any case, I apologized, even if it was in a completely insincere tone of voice. Damn her. I'll remember this. Kichi-chan, Ki-chan, get your revenge at the club meeting. Take your seat, take your seat. I sat down after Mion told me to. She switched to class representative mode. Okay, now we're out in the yard. I guess I'm going to see the... What would the cop be here? What? Okay, that was just a quick little jaunt to the schoolyard and back. With the boring classes finished, school was finally over for the day. Now then, what should we do for our club today? Spend another 30 minutes just doing something that does nothing to move this storyline along. Personally, I would play that deduction game one more time. I was hardly able to play it last time because of Oyashan. If we don't remember, that was Clue. Rena and I weren't even able to test out our strategy. That's right, today, Kichi-kun and I will be victorious. You're listening to my thoughts again? What should we do? We've never played the same game 2 days in a row before. Why not try asking me? Mion looked over her shoulder as we made eye contact. She slowly tapped her palm with her fist as her face suddenly lit up. Oops! I completely forgot. I need to go help my uncle today. Sorry guys, not today. Helping your uncle? Aren't you a little goody two-shoes? Sorry, really. I really did forget. Well then, sorry guys. This old man is heading back home now. Well, these new sprites, these old sprites, much bigger in the screen, and they seem actually a little bit more full of expression than the new sprites do. Mion left us with that and rushed off to the exit after snatching up her bag. You see, Mi-chan, she sometimes goes to help out at her uncle's shop in town. Ah, I thought she wasn't the type to get cut up in such bothersome stuff. She said she gets paid for it. It's quite a bit of spending money from what I hear. I see. She was able to pay for that mountain of games with what she saved up from there. But wouldn't you call that a part-time job? Isn't that against school policy? Oh, you're not allowed to have a part-time job in school? There's a clause that states family businesses are excluded. Is that what she's calling it? So what now? Pass on the club today? So we're done today, I guess. Won't it be fine without the club? Won't it be fine even without the club president? Let's do this. I opened the club locker and began searching for the deduction game from that ever-growing pile of games. Ah, here it is, the deduction game from yesterday. Man, I had to stop just as I was getting the hang of it. At the very least, I wanted to repay Satoko for what she did during the afternoon break. I do not mind, but is that fine for Renaissance? But is that fine for Renaissance and Rika? If Kichi-kun wants to so badly, I wouldn't mind playing for a bit. I think it's better if we do it when we have everyone together. When she says it like that, I wanted to go shopping if there wasn't a club meeting today, going to buy soy sauce and other things. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot. Well, I guess since it's been a while, I should go treasure hunting. Oh, no. No. What's this now? Everyone was no longer in the mood for club activities? I kept on trying to push the matter. It may make them realize I had a trick up my sleeve. If I kept pushing it, it might make them realize I had a trick up my sleeve. Oh well, we'll give up this time. Man, I was really looking forward to playing it. I shuffled through the cards as if I was still caught up on it. At the next opportunity, I shall give you a sound thrashing. Oh, The murderer is Satoko. The murderer weapon is the pistol. It was you after all. What did you say? Then I'll just... Satoko looked through the cards on the desk and stuck out 3 of them at me. The murderer is Kichi, in the lounge with the rope. I don't need no rope. I'll just strangle you like this. No! Kichi's such a beast! Boy, these kids have big fists. Phew! Well, I guess it's good that I got that out of my system. I'll remember this, Kichi-san. She was used as a plaything for quite a while. How unfortunate. Ah, cute, cute. Okay, I'm gonna hit quick save really quick. Everyone got ready to go back home. I also helped gather up the scattered cards. I suddenly paused. They were just the suspect cards, but I noticed something strange. Rena? Satoko? Rika? Kichi? Mion? Satoshi? Satoshi? Not all the cards were made by us. Or at least, every card besides this one has the name of a club member. Does this mean that this Satoshi fellow is a member? Was there someone in class named Satoshi? I couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class register stuck up on the wall. Kichi-kun, let's hurry and finish cleaning up. Being rushed by Rena, I finished up quickly. Satoko and Rika-chan had already headed merrily for their lockers, so we were the only ones left in the classroom. Because, like I said, there's no other kids in this school. Right now, Rena had already gotten her bag and was ready to leave. Rena, there must be quite a few people who transferred from this school, right? I tried asking Rena up in a bit of a roundabout way. Rena made a troubled face and then answered. Yeah, Hinamizawa is a rural town, right? Some people transfer out every now and then. Then this Satosho, another one, is this... and then is Satoshi another one of those transferees? Sorry, I don't really know. There was a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty much immediate. I'm not saying it to be mean. Just last year, I transferred in, so maybe I just missed him. So I didn't hear much about him. Sorry. I am not sure. Sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murder at the dam. I was saddened by her denial and felt a little bit of anger. I'm their friend, aren't I? Their friend who's spying on them. Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? Oh, yes, we do. Though, I do appreciate that they kept that unsettling curse thing from me. But, if everyone is worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's what it means to be friends, right? For a moment, I wondered just what kind of face I was making just then, with these mixed feelings of sadness and annoyance. Kichi-kun? You're making a scary face. Why is it? Why? It was probably exactly the kind of face Rena said it was. It appeared my grim expression had frightened her. Sorry. I was really looking forward to the club today. I'm just feeling down about it. I rustled Rena's hair. Let's go home. Dragging that awkward mood with us, we headed home. Okay. And does it say... Nope. I wonder why. Why have I been getting this dumb feeling lately? I didn't know anything. I had nothing to worry about. I was just enjoying my everyday life. My long outstretched shadow gave no answer to my naive inquiry. Kichi-kun, are you tired, maybe? Maybe? Rena timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm sure my expression made this situation even more unsettling. You think so? Yeah. You seem to have been a little out of it ever since this morning. Maybe a cold? Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. It may not seem like it, but I've had perfect attendance since elementary school. Rena continued on since I didn't give her an answer. It could be that fatigue from moving has finally caught up to you. It's completely different from where you used to live after all. Of course you've gotten tired, since there's so much you need to get used to and remember. Maybe that's it. Yeah, it has to be. Rena was also like that at first, too. I can tell you, you know. You know? I wondered if Rena had experienced the slight bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Hey, Sarasota, how you doing? Thinking so, I felt that she was the only one who could understand how I felt. I'm glad to see someone here tonight. Digital has not shown up. Wait, 3 viewers? He must be here. Or someone's here. Anyway. I'm just reading along, so you can sit back and enjoy my terrible, terrible voiceovers here, Sarah. I'd like to hear about when you first came to Hinamizawa. How was it? Feeling I had been drawn into the conversation, her face suddenly brightened. It was the same as Kishi-kun. I didn't know the villagers' names at all. Mishan and the rest were all very kind, so I wasn't lonely, but I did still feel a little out of place. Rena told me all the details of when she had moved here, all of her first acquaintances and surprises, worries and good times. So, Satoko got you too? Yeah, there was a thumbtack put in my chair. Poke! Then with that, that really takes me back. When you were invited into the club? The first day? Nah, there wasn't a club at the beginning. It was formed partway through. One day, she said we should stay after and hold a big game tournament. So the club is relatively new. It's less than a year old. It seemed like it was something that was going on for years. It reminds me of when you would read me bedtime stories as a kid. Yes, I always tried to do voices, and but I don't know if I ever had to do like 4 teenage girls at one time. Come to think of it, Mion did say she was the first club president. Now I get it. This is a secret, but Mishan used to be really bad at the beginning. She'd never win. Huh? Mion? Really? I can't even imagine that. She had to do most of the penalties that she came up with. Seriously, don't tell. I can't believe Mion was like that. So she gradually transformed into a monster who used any means necessary to win during that time. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty. I began making more friends besides Michan after that. But yeah, it might have only been since you moved here that I finally felt like I had gotten used to it here. Okay, hold on a second. Gotta pull up my text. Oh no, that's just I don't know what that is. Okay, Rena. Had also been left in the dark about Oyashiro-sama when she had just moved here. I guess when they finally told me about Irashio-sama, I'd be considered one of them. I wonder when I'll finally be considered one of them. Huh? Did you say something? No, sorry. Okay, I lost the track here. Just talking to myself. Haha, Kichi-kun, you're silly. Rena was poking fun and laughing at me, and I couldn't help but laugh as well. Oh, Sarah, you may not be familiar with this, but you see they got the cute counter down there? This character right here, Rena, finds everything cute, and that spelling is correct to this game. So whenever she makes a comment that something is really cute, I have to click that counter up. And there are certain times when she finds something really, really cute where it goes up twice. And there's something odd about that. Hi, Mike. Hi. How you doing? So we got the everyone but digital here tonight. But I suddenly stopped. Then, after making up my mind, I spoke. Hey, Rena. Is there something that everybody is keeping from me? I'm going to pry for this one. Huh? No, not at all. You're lying, aren't you? Rena suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Kichi-kun? Her tone was still the same cheery and lighthearted one as before. You are, aren't you? Keeping something from me. After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Seeing that face, I regretted saying something so rash. But she came back at me in a way I didn't expect. Well then, Kichi-kun, aren't you keeping something from us? Oh, does she know about the police? Those wide eyes. Also, these are the original sprites of the game, the original artwork. This is not the artwork that is native, I guess, to the Steam version. But I found out last week that you could play in these old sprites, so I decided, let's try it one day. And they looked really weird at first to me, but they take up much more of the screen. They're much more expression. These original sprites have a lot more expression in them than the ones that come with Steam. Huh? Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I'd seen this expression from Rena. With her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe it was the same Rena with those big, giant, saucer blue eyes. Aren't you? Lies or secrets? Aren't you? You are. Secrets. She didn't actually say that part, but she looked as if she did. The incident with Tomotaki-san and how I felt alienated from the group, even without having to think about it, there were things I knew that I felt guilty about. But I didn't tell everyone about what happened with Tomotaki-san to be considerate. I was keeping it a secret just the same way they didn't tell me about Oyashiro-sama. Then, aren't we even? No, I'm not. No lies. Nor secrets. Liar! Her answer was instant, and it shook me. Rena stared as if burrowing through me, watching me like a hawk. Why would you say I'm lying? Didn't you say that you were called into the teacher's room yesterday during the club meeting, Kichi-kun? I know. You didn't go to the teacher's room. I swallowed hard. It clearly wasn't a bluff. She knew what happened. The teacher said you had a guest, didn't she? But you didn't talk at the entrance. Oh, you talked inside the car near the school gate with some man we don't know. Did this happen to you, Rena? Are you, basically telling me you did the same thing? Rena knew everything. She knew that I was called out by Oishi-san and that I heard about the incident with Tomotaki-san as well. Did she know all of it? Exactly who was that man? I don't know him. Why did someone you don't know have business with you? I want to know that myself. Then what did you talk about? It has nothing to do with you guys. It was a lie? Lies! Rena's scream echoed through the trees, and her face got really mad, sending frightened birds into the air. I couldn't exhale the deep breath I had just taken. No, it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. It was here I first realized the person in front of me, she wasn't Rena Ryugu. Then who was that standing before me now? Okay, am I being literal that that's not Rena? Or is this, she's not the same person emotionally? Who had assumed Rena Ryugu's appearance? Ooh, is it the spirit? I had held my breath for so long I could feel myself suffocating. Right. And then she made a facial expression that Rena normally might have made. It didn't matter that it was Rena's usual smile. It chilled me to the bone. She drew closer to me. I felt her breath against my face. It wasn't the least bit exciting. Whoever this was with Rena's face was going to chew my nose right off. I cowered as I imagined that. Then she smirked as if she was able to see right through me. We also have secrets, just like how Kichi-kun has secrets. It was Rena's usual smile, but her eyes were still that of a hawk's. Bringing her face close enough to mine to almost bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. I couldn't nod or shake my head. This person standing in front of me, this person who looked like Rena, frightened me to the core. I was terrified knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. And what we know from before, somehow these girls can hear my thoughts too. After what I felt like an eternity, after a long empty silence, she finally spoke. Let's go. It's getting chilly. It was Rena again. Smiling at me once more, she started walking as if nothing at all had happened. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me, and I slumped to the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Rena was out of sight. Who was that? I felt cold. My body was drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and asked myself once again, who was that person who looked like Rena Ryugu? Higurashi when they cry. Well, I see a little bit of the horror coming into there if they really, really are implying that she is really someone else, that there's some kind of spirit, there's some kind of ghost that's inhabiting her, and they could be in all the kids because they didn't really want to speak to me earlier. And we also have the clue from the police inspector that some people suspect that it's the people of Hinamizawa who are causing the killings. Okay, let's continue on. I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner except stare blankly into space. Was I terrified from Rena going off on me? No, that's not right. That was something else. That was someone else who only looked like Rena. Then who could it have been? It was a dreadful feeling. Knowing that was someone else, not Rena, so tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Rena like I usually do. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head, though those thoughts continued swirling around my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the steps. Kichi, it's a call from the bookstore. Bookstore? Can't think of why they'd be calling me. Could that be code for police? I went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway. My apologies for calling so late at night. It's me. It is. Oishi of the Onakama Bookshop. Oh, wait a second. Oh? Oishi-san? Oh, it's Oishi-san. Yeah, the cop. Okay. Sorry. Since your parents picked up, I said I was from the bookstore. It puts people off when I say I'm a police officer. Oishi-san was, in his own way, rather courteous. Even so, I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone with me as I dashed back up to my room on the second floor. Sorry for calling so late. That phone number on the piece of paper I gave you yesterday was the old number. My apologies. Can you copy down the number I'm about to give you? Ah, yeah. Okay. He gave me the number for his direct line as I wrote it down. I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk, and it was pretty hard to hang up. So, how has it been, my Aberson? Did anything strange happen recently? I see. This was the real reason. He really beat around the bush there. His adult conversational skills left me slack-jawed. Are you from around here, Oishi-san? Yeah, I am. Born and raised in Okinomiya. If he's from around here, he might know. Oishi-san, do you know what this Okinikushi thing is about? Onikakushi? I believe that's when somebody suddenly vanishes because they've been abducted by a demon. It's a special saying from around here. It has the same meaning as spirited away like everyone else says. Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer, at least. It made me a bit happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything. Hinamizawa was, not sure if I should tell you this, my Aberson. Don't try to play this off. If you're not going to talk, then I'm not going to tell you anything. No, that's not what I meant. It's just, it may make you feel bad. You see, long ago, Hinamizawa was feared as the village where demons reside. Demons? By demons, you mean those pitchfork-carrying things in hell? More like human-eating monsters. They go down to the villages snatching people up and gobbling them down. That kind of tale. Demon snatching up people is what this Onikakushi really means? They said that the curse and being demoned away happened together. What does that mean? That's me. I already knew about the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row, but I didn't know there were people disappearing for those same 5 years. The curse and the being demoned away happened together? First time I've heard of that. Oh, is that how it is, my Aberson? Okay, my voices are backwards. That's what I want to know. I heard Rena and Mion talking. They said that if it really was Oyashiro-sama's curse, then both the curse and the demoning away would happen. Oishi-san began hemming and hawing on the other end of the receiver. Maybe something about that came to mind. My Aberson, do you know the first incident? The murder by dismemberment? Yeah? One of the 6 perpetrators is still on the run, right? Hypothetically, what if he isn't on the run, but was demoned away? Huh? It was an outrageous hypothesis from Oishi-san. The incident 4 years ago was the particularly ghastly one. The police already knew the perpetrators, so they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They staked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be. Unless the police were completely incompetent. Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off. Then, what about the incident the next year, when the man who supported the project and his wife both died in an accident? Well, actually, it was only the husband who died in an accident. His wife's body never surfaced. Unless we find that body, then it's considered a missing person by law. At the time of the incident, with the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, the police drivers had searched every branch off the mainstream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end, they weren't able to find the body. But that's just them not being able to find the body. She's still dead, right? Isn't it different from her being demoned away? We cannot say someone is dead without their body until a certain number of years pass. By law, she's treated as still alive. I'm not sure if it was right to call that being demoned away. The wife is missing. At least that part was reality. How about the third year? The Shinto priest died of illness, and his wife committed suicide. Maebra-san, that's actually the exact same scenario. His wife was supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless marsh deep in the forest around the Hinamizawa. Meaning, it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the marsh. A diver was able to recover a few remnants, but they weren't able to find a body. The investigative headquarters believed that she had faked her death and was still alive somewhere. I'm not sure if we could call these cases as being demoned away. It's just as you said, every year one person does go missing. The incident this year, the woman with Tomotaki-san has gone missing? Then what about the incident... Oh. The incident this year, the woman with Tomotaki-san has gone missing. Then what about the incident with the housewife being beaten to death? Who went missing? I believe the perpetrator was caught, right? Yeah, we arrested him. He was just a miscreant with a record of narcotics abuse. He admitted to the crime while being questioned about a different incident. But, well, you see, after he was arrested, a child from the victim's home went missing. It's still under investigation as to whether the disappearance had anything to do with the crime. But you said you caught him, right? Did he have an accomplice? No idea. It's considered a separate case. Moreover, we can't even check now because while under investigation, that man, well, he died in his holding cell. He swallowed a spork and choked to death. It's not known whether it was an accident or suicide, because people die from sporks all the time. Meaning, for the last 5 years, there's always one person who dies and one goes missing. That's about right. No, actually, I'm surprised as well. I never realized they had that in common. I couldn't believe that this could help lead to the closing of those incidents. It was just something they had in common. Could it be that those demoned away have something in common? Oh, a spork. We used to have them all the time in school. They are those plastic utensils that look like a spoon, but have the pointy ends, so they're like a fork. It's a spoon and a fork put together. A spork. Oishi-san mumbled as he seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarized the events. The first year was the damn employee. Second year was the wife of a damn project supporter. The third year was the wife of the Shinto. Sorry, it just sounded weird. Fourth year was the victim's family child, and the fifth year was the victim's girlfriend, I guess. It doesn't seem like there's anything that connects them. With the exception of the first year, wives and girlfriends, those do stand out. It does seem like there are a lot. Then that means the fourth year's victim child was different. It would have really stood out if it were all married couples, except it's not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tomotaki-san also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly. The child that went missing in the fourth year, who were they? Apparently, he was quite mature, 1 year older than you. His name? Was Satoshi Huju-san. Okay, I don't know if you were here when we saw this earlier, but we learned that there was another kid named Satoshi who was part of the club that we have at school, and we didn't know who this was. So here we hear the name. Huh? Satoshi? I remembered that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year? And by they, I think we mean Rena. He was at your school up until last year. Didn't they tell you anything about him? Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. Then, where I sat, once belonged the one who was demoned away? It was his seat? I recalled the cold sensation that came from that desk. It made my hair stand on end. This string of mysterious deaths, no, Oyashiro-sama's curse, I now knew how it connected to me. I am sitting in the death chair. That chilling sensation, it was the feeling of Oyashiro-sama caressing the back of my neck. Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Could Oyashiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was beginning to believe it. And I was scared. That was why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by man and not the work of a curse. But the more I dug into it, the less likely that seemed. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. If I kept digging, eventually I'd reach the point where I'd learn something I really shouldn't know. Haven't I been saying this for like the last 7 chapters? I'm going to learn something I don't really want to know. To either be none the wiser or seek an answer I may regret. Which one would I be happier with? Seeking the answer, seeking the answer, seeking the answer. Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. And about 9 more games. That was when I remembered. Rena! Rena said she may be the next victim of the curse. You mean Rena Ryugu-san? She transferred in last year and she's your classmate, isn't she? These incidents really might be a bit too disturbing for a girl. She's not just scared, is she? It wasn't that. She said it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think she had a concrete reason behind it. It felt as if she was convinced, almost as if you could say she was frightened. Her sudden change in demeanor. That someone who looked like Rena, but wasn't Rena. That might be unrelated. All the strange things that I felt from Rena today came back to me. I see. Then I'll be doing a bit of investigating on this end. Please continue your observations of Ryugu-san, my Abra-san. Are you asking me to keep Rena under surveillance? That's not what I mean, my Abra-san. I just want you to watch out for your friend so she doesn't end up the next victim. At that moment, just as my mouth was agape because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with words. Knock, knock. A sudden knock-knock at the door set my heart racing. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver. Who is this? Kichi, get the door, please. On the other side of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice, who sounded like my mother. What could it be? It's so late. Sorry, my dad just came in. Can we leave it at this for tonight? Yeah, my apologies again for calling so late. You find out anything else, please let me know. I'll tell you if I make any progress on this end. Well then, have a pleasant evening. Kichi, hurry and open up! Daddy's got his hands full. What? What is Dad doing? I had stayed in the same position while on the phone the whole time, so my joints were aching. When I opened the door, I saw my father was standing there with a tray. On that tray, cookies and 2 cups of black tea, a fairly fancy spread for our household. What do you eat? Like pieces of plain bread? There was even sugar and lemon slices on the side. Everything you could ask for. This was quite the show of hospitality. Oh, what's going on, Dad? What's all this for?
Come now, don't play around, Kichi. I'm coming in.
Dad was in high spirits and had a smirk on his face. But for my entire life, I've never seen him act this hospitable. Everyone I know is changing. What had gotten into him?
So, what were you talking about?
I jumped. It's not something I had to keep from my father, but how could I explain to him I was talking to a detective, I'm assuming he was, this late at night? No, nothing much, just a friend.
I don't mean the phone.
She was here, wasn't she? Rena-chan?
Huh?
She wasn't here.
Come now, don't try to keep it from me. She just came over to play. You two were chatting away, so I thought I'd bring some tea, but it looks like I just missed her.
What's going on? I had no idea what Dad was talking about, but a cold sweat dripped down my back. How long were we talking?
Rena-chan went upstairs about half after, so it was close to an hour, I guess.
You saw her come up to the second floor?
Yeah, I did. I also told her that your room was the door down the hall up the stairs.
Rena came to my house about an hour ago? Dad met her at the door and called out to me on the second floor? I probably didn't hear him because I was so focused on my conversation with Oishi-san. I didn't reply, but he knew I was in my room, so he had her come inside, then told her my room was on the second floor. She thanked my dad and went upstairs. Then about an hour passed. She passed by my dad just as he was bringing up tea and left. She came upstairs and about an hour passed. Was she listening at my door this whole time? Then passed by my dad and returned home. Then after she came upstairs and until after she left, where was Rena, she was spying on me. There's only a short hallway between my room and the stairs. Meaning, Rena had, for about an hour, in the hall. No, she couldn't have been standing in front of my door all the time. The door to my room wasn't particularly thick. You could easily hear everything being said inside. All of the ominous things and all the nonsense I spoke to Oishi-san about began rushing through my head. Honey, don't tease him. More importantly, you need to clean up your studio. It's a mess again. Mom yelled up at Dad from downstairs. Dad left the tray with me and went downstairs with a disappointed chortle. I followed my dad out of the room with my eyes. I looked down at the floor around the doorway where Rena might have stood the whole time, all that time. Just now, as I was talking to Oishi-san, with my back turned, Rena was standing a mere 6 feet away. The whole time? All that time? In this dimly lit doorway? What did she see? What did she hear? For what reason? As the stream from the 2 teacups ominously wafted and twisted, the aroma of black tea filled my room. Higurashi when they cry. Well, is Rena who Rena says she is? Is she just listening at the door? Is everything normal and explainable? Or is there something else going on? It took us 8 chapters, or 9 chapters, but we finally got to some weird stuff in this story. Well, a couple chapters ago. Okay, view the new tips. So we got new tips. Let's see what we got here. We got, looks like 1 tip. A notice from the police chief. Let me just, okay. July 1st, 1982. To Departments 1 through 12. Prefectural Police Headquarters. Director General XXX. Redacted. To the Chief Constable and all facility managers. Regarding cases situated in Hinamizawa Village, Notice. As cases in Shinobone City, Hinamizawa Village have been reported by certain sections of mass media, it has drawn global attention, which is causing serious repercussions for the local residents. This has become a very situation. To protect the livelihood and prosperity of the residents, the following notice has been issued. Designate the following criminal investigations as classified. Hinamizawa Station, 1982, case number X. Hinamizawa, village housewife murder, dated June XX. Okonomiya Station, 1982, case number XX. Hinamizawa Village, student disappearance, dated today. Why is this not letting me click through it? Non-disclosure of information. Okonomiya Station, 1979, case number X. Hinamizawa Village site foreman murdered, dated June XX. Shira Station 1980, case number X. Shira National Park falling incident, dated June XX. Omikawa Station 1981, case number X. Hinamizawa Village Shinto priest wife disappearance, dated XXX. Non-disclosure information. Requesting self-restraint from each organization concerning the release of sensitive information. Please see attached reference materials 1, 2, and 3. Management, Prefecture Police Headquarters. Internal line, redacted. Police Affairs Department, redacted. Okay, well, this isn't stopping to let me click through. It just kind of ran through there, which is why I was reading fast and didn't catch everything. But it's just a list of stuff that has non-disclosure, basically saying this is all sensitive information. So that's where we are. So the mystery is going on. We don't know what's happening. After this game, there's like 9 more games. Who knows where all that's going? But this has been fun for a way to end Easter evening. Thank you for listening. As always, I am Terrence. I run Tev's Next Idea. The address at tevnextidea.blogspot.com, but the address is in the description for this channel, where I play solo role-playing games and write stories, all with mechanics and discussion. So, well, you either have a demon following you or a stalker. That is true. Well, Rena has been a little bit of a stalker this whole game. More Mina though, but and so if you like those kind of stories, you can check me out there. Or if you want something a little more serious, a little bit faith-based, I do have half-air.com, where I post articles. Yes, as I say every week, I am a Christian who plays video games, and we are glad you are here. And if you haven't before looked into what it means to be a Christian, I would suggest that you look for some good solid teaching. I have a few resources on my site at half-air.com, and you might be surprised that it may be a little bit different than what you've heard in the past. But don't know when I'm going to be on again. The next few weeks are a little bit busy for me. I'm going to try to be on sometime next weekend, and then my birthday comes up after that. And then I start doing my Saturday night tabletop gaming sessions again. So we'll see how that all works out. But for Tev's Next Idea and the stream, thanks for watching. And I will see you next time. Good night. Thank you. It's on the 3rd of May. Later. Bye.